Okay, yeah, a little issue there getting the mic reset. The joys of unplugging, plugging it back in, and had to rename it and all this good junk. So what I've got going is I made a top 20. I actually did a list because I'll be damned when your Copilot chats get way too long. Man, does it get wonky trying to keep the list together and where the albums go and all that mess. And I'm just like, you know what? It's gonna be more fun. I'm gonna be more attached if I actually just write down my damn thoughts. So, funny thing when you go through these six albums, it feels as though trapeze, whatever I said in the last video, it feels like every album is just a product of whatever's going on in the music world around them at that point. This is a UK band after all. So when the first album, as I said, that came out at the end of uh, Cream had broken up or was breaking up, and Prague is coming in, and it's the Moody Blues record label. So you get the first album, the side A is a bit of the theatrical stuff. We don't get the signs of what Trapeze is going to be until side two. So, with this, my number 20 comes off that first album, side two, and it's Another Day. And I wrote down that this is a very strong, definitely a Beatles meets the Birds type of vibe. We get some of those backing, like almost gospel like harmony choruses, and it's it's your sign of what's coming, but it's still not there yet. Going forward, my number 19. Uh, I made this Starbreaker from the '75 album, the lead off track. Oh man, this is a good entry point. This is driving. It's funky. It's an absolute rocker. Mel Galley on the vocals. But again, I couldn't help but notice going on the songs I picked from the '75 uh, second self-titled album. I I had to think about why do they sound like they do, and why are they playing like this? Two different worlds. What's going on? Glenn came momentarily back from the Deep Purple realm, uh, and I got some gospel Southern blues on it with Stormbringer, Holy Man, but in particular. But I realized going through the '75 album, what was in style at that point in the UK, the big live band that was also getting mainland Europe exposure was Thin Lizzy. And yeah, this Starbreaker, it's definitely the classic trapeze, but there's some Thin Lizzy elements sneaking in. It's like they've been seeing the live act. Lizzy at that point was taking off with the Fighting album. Nightlife had come out the year before. They didn't quite know where they're going to go yet with the direction. Well, Phil didn't know, but what Scott and Brian were doing, the classic twin guitar attack of that era, is very much uh, in vogue and in play on this album. That's part of the reason why I like it. It's still got that funky aspects and bit of blues, but it's got some guitar driven, aspects to it. 18 from the first album, side two again, Wings. This is where we get our first look at the peppy, the faster, slightly funky trapeze that we get with, well, Medusa, but also more so on You Are the Music. So I would say a little bit of country vibes at the beginning slipping through. Glenn really starting to show off more of his vocal range. And this is the first album. But you get the pieces of what's coming a couple of years later here. Number 17, going back to the '75 album, Monkey. Yeah, it's got that rockin' Deep Purple, early White Snake vibe. Um, but again, I even wrote, underlined, Thin Lizzy Fighting was out, or it was in the process, because, yeah. Uh, you can't mistake the guitar aspects. 16, Feel It Inside. Okay, so this came off of yeah, this came off of Hotwire. Uh, long build, almost. This is an 844. It's very much a jam session type of track. It goes for a couple minutes, a slow, funky build. The call and response vocals that wouldn't be out of place on, say, an I Cantina thing, but it was, you know, it is what it is. Money. Uh, then it takes off, and I wrote down this is very Albert King adjacent. Oh, maybe the guitar is not as sharp, but Mel is really killing it. But definitely the late night or sing in the club that the blues band's up playing, just jamming. Feeling Inside is just one of those tracks that I keep going back to. Uh, okay, 15. This comes off the Hold On or the Running album. Uh, I put Time Will Heal. This is the last track off of that, and the band's really doing it. I don't think they knew it was going to be the end, but it's a very um trying to get back to you know happier thoughts, better days. Golby delivers it with this, and the guitars match around him with the licks. It's very much a really aching churn of a track and a strong ender. Moving back, one more track off the 75 second self titled album, album number 5 total. I went the Raid. Okay, oh my god. I even wrote, oh my god, this is Lizzie. Yeah, I mean, Mel is just, and Glenn on bass. The way that riff churns out, I immediately thought to myself, this is like early, this is practically Emerald. This is essentially an instrumental, except for some uh, vocal heroics at the end. But this felt like um, fighting my way back. A little bit of early Emerald. That chug comes in with that riff, and I seriously thought Phil Lynott and Scott Gorham walked into the room and played on the track. I love this. It goes without saying I'm a huge Thin Lizzy fan, so at some point I'll give my own thoughts on that band in my own series of tracks and videos. We'll get there. We'll get there. Uh, it'll probably be real soon because since I'm in the tees now on my record collection, I'm gonna have to catalog all my Thin Lizzy records. So yeah, it'll be sooner than later. Uh, yeah, the Raid. Go if you like Thin Lizzy. Go check out the '75 album. Listen to the Raid, Monkey, and Starbreaker. I think you're gonna be pleasantly surprised and enjoy that. Number 13. Okay, this is the actual title track. Well, for the most part. Hold on. Now, 79, I'd like to point out, we know how Uriah Heep comes back with Golby in 82. And they do an album that firmly puts them somewhere between the new wave of British heavy metal and classic AOR. And somehow they balance it out just fine. Uh, so I point this out because when you listen to the Hold On or Running, whichever version you get, it definitely it's definitely an AOR slick production, but with you know a lot of funky additions and quite a bit of rocking. But Hold On, the main title track, it's it's more AOR than the funk, but it's still just a great song. My number 12, coming off the debut, Suicide. Okay, so starts off. Suicide is. I feel like this is your setup to Jury and Seaful. It starts out a bit, it's a little slow, and then the organ creeps in. It's pretty heavy. It's actually very unsettling in a way for what they were doing. And I I put it back and I play it back, and it's just like, yeah, with how much I love Medusa and You Are the Music, to get the initial vibe of the epics that are coming with this, it stays with you. It's murky, it's dark, it's almost depressing yet hypnotic, and it stays with you as my phone notifications go off. Number 11, I'm running. Oh, I'm sorry, you're running away. Definitely, like I said, definitely a Uriah Heep uh, Styx vibe. Uh, but the thing with running is, even though it's that AOR uh, change over to what Styx was doing and what Kansas was also going more towards, to not to their betterment, honestly. Um, I do like the 79, 81 Kansas albums, but still, it's we're going AOR on this. But running is such a driving stomper. It doesn't matter, and it would definitely be the palette Uriah Heep would take in '82. So again, I keep coming back to that Uriah Heep thing, but it's there. Number 10, coming off here. Okay, so Hotwire 74. The thing I noticed with some of these tracks on Hotwire is when these tracks punch and they have a lot of swagger and they drive and they groove, man, some of these wouldn't be out of place. And it took me a minute. I was like, this could have been a late Guess Who track or two. And then I thought, well, Randy Bachman left Guess Who, and then didn't he start BTO around this time? Or very close to it, because my number 10, Backstreet Love, that opens the album. Oh my God, it's got that BTO heavy punch and swagger to it, man, with the rolling the rolling vocals and the chorus harmonies, just punchy. And once I heard it, I went, okay, I see what they're in. Glenn's gone. They gotta Mel and Tom gotta buckle up with Dave and keep it going. And I'll double check. I think BTO started that year, so or they at least they took off. But it is such a BTO track, adjacent track. I love it anyways. I don't care. And Mel sings his ass off. Like I said, he may not be the definitive singer of Trapeze, but Mel is no slouch in the vocal department. It's a shame he didn't get to enjoy all the fruit of his labor on Slide It In, because I mean he wrote most of that album, but or he contributed to it. But by accident. And in comes John Sykes from Thin Lizzy's last album and Tigers of Pantang before that. Uh, Sorry, but again, Backstreet Love, almost like a BTO track. If you love BTO, check out Backstreet Love. My number 9 comes off of this album. Backstreet Love, and I'm a loser. Loser. Love when Glenn occasionally he dips into that lower gritty vocal range, and this is one of those tracks where I have a John Fogerty, pissed off Fogerty vibe going through it. Not the whole track, but little bits and pieces. Yeah, fast paced song, energetic. Like I said in the last video, You Are the Music is probably the peak album. It is what it is. Every song, even the slower tracks that take off, it's just thumping good time. You're gonna be out jamming with this. Number 8, real heavy one, coming off of Hotwire again, The Midnight Flyer. Hey, there's a reason the 2 recent compilation box sets covering all the albums from Cherry Red are called Midnight Flyer, the Lost Tapes. This song is a heavy one. Love the riff that Mel gets on this one. Again, this would be right next to Rocking Down the Highway from BTO, any of those aggressive BTO anthems. This would be right there next to it. Okay, so again, that was number 8, Midnight Flyer. Check this album out. It's gonna get you. Number 7, Wherever I Go, the Black Cloud's Following Me. What do I say about Black Cloud? For a band that started off doing moody blues-like stuff and then was hinting at on the debut, the side 2 of the debut, you get this album on, and they just kick it up a notch. It's almost 7 minutes. I had to replay it to make this. Uh, God, it's just it's funky. It's bluesy. It's a it's definitely a foot stomper. It's a head shaker. Uh, which is odd because the next song on the album is, but we'll get to that. For number 6, I'm going back to You Are the Music for Coast to Coast. Okay, so this is more of a slow, almost country like twang delivery, sitting down, getting in, let's say the golden hours or whatever. Uh, I had to make an Archer reference there for those of you who remember Archer Vice. That was a long time ago. I still need to see the last couple seasons of that. Fuck, I'm behind. God. But Coast to Coast is just the laid back. It's not long, but it's just sitting there dreaming, daydreaming, looking out at the world and things around him. I almost feel like this is sitting out, literally looking out your back door. You know, looking out my back door. This is what that feels like to me. Not exactly CCR, but it's the same type of vibe. So, just not as fast. Still, that's the picture I get with it. Number 6. Oof, okay. Number 6. It's a Seaful from Medusa. Track, that should be track 5, side 2 overall. Dreamy, hypnotic, slow blues. Almost, it's delivered in a way that you're the drifter at sea. Plenty of dramatic. Then they get a little bit of, they tease a little bit of some Deep Purple rhythm theatrics here and there. But Seaful again is, and this whole album really, Medusa is, like I said in the last video, Medusa is uh your your dreamscapes, your landscape pieces, your hypnotic, emotional, trying to be at ease yet taking you away in other difficulties in life. Seaful is again a perfect. Just I I would think of this as it, one of my favorite Motorhead songs is "Lost in the Ozone," and they play that like it's someone violently adrift at sea and depressed. And this is more. This one's not exactly depressing per se. It's just the delivery is gonna give you that type of vibe that you're just stuck out on the waves, or you're just on the boat and enjoying it, trying to enjoy it, take it all in. It depends on how you want to look at the lyrics and the delivery and everything. Number 4. Okay, number 4. We're going back to this. This is gonna be Way Back to the Bone. Great fucking song from Glenn. Slow start, first couple minutes. They're feeling their way in, and then boom, it just explodes. It's some these songs. The band is so good at what they do, even when they're doing the bluesy introductions, or maybe like I said a couple times they had that little country twang. When they take off, they absolutely nail the emotional punch and the kick in the ass, which I'm gonna completely offset now. My number 3 is gonna be back off of this, and my number 3 is number 2 off this, Jury. I wrote down, oh man, this is Sabbath with some Led Zeppelin heavy blues, more blues dynamic. Uh, what the hell's it about? Well, it's Judgment Day for the sinner. Like, gotta stand before your jury. Damnation is here. When Glenn gets trying to be the character, going through the emotions, he does the really amazing gritty yet high vocals. It's like I said, it's uh he's going into he's going into Robert Plant territory at times. It's like I said, so it's not exactly Sabbath. It's Sabbath adjacent, but think Black Mountainside. How many more times? Yeah, maybe what is and what should never be. Just or Moby Dick. Yeah, we're in that space. It's not quite heavy in rock deep purple, but Jury could fit as their own version of Child in Time, just without 3-4 minutes of Ian Gillan shattering your eardrums. But I love Child in Time. Don't get me wrong; it's one of my absolute favorite Deep Purple tracks. But for some people, it's a bit much. So this is I guess is their Child in Time, their Moby Dick, what should never be, the live versions. I mean, just amazing. It's 2-3 years before No Quarter, but it's some of that too. Okay, number two, going with the title track. You are the music, we are the band. Yeah, enough said. Enough said. Number one, and a reminder. You could already tell, I think, what it was going to be. The title track off of Medusa. I love my Greek legends and everything, mythology. So we dip into that. You look at the it's a vibe song. Some weird. They tease when they're gonna take off with these odd little inflections on the rhythm end, and then the song blows up again. They do it like 3 different times. It just keeps building up, slow down, cool off, and then we build up. Very old school. It's almost pre Roy Orbison rock in a way. It's A B A B A B. I mean, Roy Orbison like practically single handedly changed the entire structure of a pop song. Give the man credit. This is again a vibe album. I mean, the title track even opens with a very twangy country uh, lick and delivery. It'll throw you off a little bit because it's like, well, it's called Medusa. Why would it? And then again, it takes off, and it's definitely a rocker. But depending on your tastes, if you want more more headbangers, more foot stompers, more up and moving around, you're gonna take more songs off this. It's almost a pick me with these two albums. But it's, do you want the vibes, or you ready to move? That's the way I look at it. And then Hotwire honestly gives you a great mixture of both. I keep telling you, spend more time with it. But okay, I'm glad I made this giant list and took all these notes and kept repeating my damn self and ranting. But it's fun. I was really excited to do this and put this together. This is what I get for saying I can't make a top 20 or anything list. No, yes you can. It's how much time you give it, and once you make the connections of what they're kind of accomplishing, or the context of the era that they're surrounded in, the albums make a lot more sense. Now that I got the BTO thing in my head, I might have to go listen to Guess Who and BTO. I haven't done that in years. I got so sick and tired of hearing Taking Care of Business. Oh, I'm sorry, TCB. It's just like they have 3-4 amazing albums in a row. Why is it always the same fucking song? Uh it's another rant for another time. All right, so that's my top 20 trapeze tracks. Trapeze, whatever. Hope you like it. Hope you make it through. I don't know that you will. I talk too much and I give too much context and background. I get it, but I would rather you come away thinking about it the way I do, or at least have the understanding. So till the next one, I got some. It's 6 o'clock at night. Jesus, 6:30. I gotta make dinner too. All right. So next time, guys. Take care.